Welcome back. Today we are continuing our Africa Innovation Series with a unique crowdsourcing company that originated during Kenya's 2007 and 2008 post-election violence. It is called Ushahidi. Africa 54's Paul Ndiho recently visited the tech company in Nairobi, and he now joins us to tell us more. Paul?
Indeed, Vincent, Ushahidi is a unique company that is having an impact all over the world, and it may also help African citizens protect their votes. Ushahidi's crisis mapping software was first used in early 2008 to track down violent outbreaks related to the disputed Kenyan election of 2007. And it's been used since to coordinate everything from disaster relief, following earthquakes, elections in Nigeria to snow cleanup in New York City.
Now, 6-7 years later, Ushahidi, there are over 90,000 deployments around the world. It's used in over 150 different countries, being translated into over 50 different languages. We talk about 6.5 million people with direct impact, and indirect impact over 17 million people. So we truly are a global technology company, but made in Africa.
Citizens may use any mobile device to send information to a volunteer technical team responsible for mapping data. Ushahidi offers products that enable local observers to submit reports using their mobile phones or the internet, while simultaneously creating a temporal or geospectral archive of events.
Biggest use cases, about 73%, 75% of the deployments are in the areas of citizen government engagement, so people doing things like election monitoring. They're in the area of disaster response. So, for example, there was a big Ushahidi deployment that was used to coordinate the response around the Nepal earthquake earlier this year. And then also just the civic space. So we have maps, for example, in Egypt, harass map. And what they're doing is monitoring incidences of sexual harassment and sexual violence on the streets of Egypt.
Ushahidi's executive director, Daudi Wari, says the Kenyan technology company continues to do very well in a market that is highly competitive, simply because their technology is having an impact in the world. For example, their software was used to monitor the elections in Nigeria.
And it was interesting that, through this, through maps like this and other civil society initiatives, you're able to see Nigeria go through its first peaceful transition. So when you start involving ordinary citizens in key decisions of their day, they feel invested in the process, they feel committed to the process, and it can help deal with incidences of violence.
Since 2008, the Ushahidi platform has grown to be a world-class open-source tool for human rights activism, crisis response, and civilian empowerment.
We've done work for even high-level political campaigns, such as the Barack Obama presidential election campaign. So the software itself is pretty secure and pretty strong, and we're very proud of that. So people come here because they're passionate about their communities, they want to have a positive impact, and they want to do meaningful stuff in an innovative space that allows them to move and develop quickly.
Analysts say advances in technology and crowdsourced data only help in dealing with a crisis. Daudi Were says the most important facets remain to have a community, both local and international, to identify and respond to a crisis, and then having the commitment to help those affected.
Well, amazing there. So this is, I think, one of the few things that have been created in Africa, and they're being used different parts of the world. I do hear that even in the United States, it's been used.
Yeah, Ushahidi is a remarkable example of success stories in Africa. This is a crowdsourcing software that has originated in Kenya, that has been used all over the world. Most recently, they actually deployed it in Nigeria to monitor the elections. what a remarkable thing to come out of
That's
Kenya.
amazing. Now, my question is, do they, those pieces of information go back to Kenya? They're relayed back to Kenya from whatever country that, the information is coming from?
No. What they do, they provide the platform.
Yeah.
So it depends. Let's say if it's in Nigeria or in Uganda, the local people in Uganda will use the software,
Okay.
and the Nairobi acts as a hub that receives all the information.
Okay. And then they put it in the system. What's their projection? In which other areas will it possibly be used?
Well, they have done very, very well in areas of crisis management, especially, let's say there's an earthquake, there is a tornado, snow cleaning in New York here. They recently used the software. They have used it in other places, especially in elections. They are talking about going to Uganda in the coming elections in February. It's going to be one of the things that they're going to deploy in Uganda.
So very quickly, this is an app that you can download on your smartphone?
It's both an app and you can use it on your phone, on your computer.
Yeah,
so it's on multimedia platforms.
Okay, great. And very quickly, what are some of the, things that you noticed about this program that could be a challenge, potentially, that they could fix?
Obviously, when it comes to security, you talk about people hacking into the system. But from what Daudi, where he told me, the software is designed in such a way that you almost can't hack into the system. So it's very, very secure, to the extent that during the 2011 elections here in the United States, Barack Obama's campaign deployed it too.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Excellent reporting there. And we do look forward to more of your original reports from the continent.